I will read those two verses that we were just looking at, Romans 1:16 and 17, from the remedy. But the first question, the last question for the text though. What does it mean the just or the righteous shall live by faith?
Shall live by trust.
Trust, okay, so they live by trust. So my understanding is that the righteous or the just are the ones who are choosing in governance of themselves to do what they know is the right or just thing. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego on the plain of Dura had to decide, do we bow or do we not bow? That was their choice to make. The just or right action, no bow. So that's the just or we choose in government to do the right or just thing. But then, here's the faith part. We trust God with how it turns out.
Amen.
We can't control the outcome. And thus they said to Nebuchadnezzar, we know our God has the power to deliver us from the fire. But even if he doesn't, we don't know the outcome. We only know what's right for us to do. The just trust God with the outcome. So here's my paraphrase of those verses. I'm not ashamed of spreading the good news about God and his character, methods, and principles, as this is God's power which heals everyone who believes and trusts in him. Firstly to the Jews, those initially called to assist in spreading the remedy, and then to the Gentiles, those most recently called to help spread the remedy. For the good news is a revelation of God's true righteousness, character, methods, and principles that restores trust in God and results in recreation of a righteous and Christ-like character in humans. Just as it is written, the Christ-like will live by choosing what is right in governance of themselves and by trusting God with how things turn out. That's the remedy.
I would take it a step further, though. I can't always choose to do the right thing, but I choose to ask Jesus to help me to choose to do the right thing.
Okay, so to help you choose the right thing, let's just break this down. At the end of the day, what kind of help does Jesus give? You want help to choose the right thing. What kind of help does he give in that process? Does he actually take over the reins of your decision making and choose for you?
No.
So at the end of the day, who's making the choice to do the right thing?
Okay. Yeah, you're right.
Okay. Okay. So yes, it's perfectly righteous to say that. I will tell you there are times, let's look at this case of Lot. Lot's in Sodom. The angels come and tell him, you need to get out. Sodom's going to be destroyed. And if you see the description, when Lot's going out of the city, who's holding each hand? An angel's holding it, and it says they dragged him out of the city. Yeah. Now, do you think they dragged him out kicking and screaming against his will? I don't want to leave. I want to stay here. Do you think that was his heart attitude? No. So here's what I hear, and this is a great metaphor. The Bible stories are not only, in my view, historical facts, history, but they are recorded for a purpose, and it tells us in the New Testament why. As lessons to us. They teach us things. They have a larger lesson than just the facts of history. And so Lot was in a sinful environment, but he was a righteous man. But his heart had become attached to the sinful environment. His family was there, many of his family that didn't go out. His friends, his industry, his home, his gardens, his vineyards, everything that he's done. He wants, so here's what I see happening. Lord, I want to leave. I'm willing to leave. I choose to leave. I don't have the strength to get myself out of this situation. Will you provide the strength to get me out? And the angels drag him out. You will find yourself in circumstances of life. Maybe it's an addiction. Maybe it's a relationship. Some situation where you are convicted, you see the truth, you make the choice, I'm willing to get out. But then you should pray, Lord, give me the strength, drag me out. He won't drag you out until you make the choice. But sometimes we need the strength from him to follow through. Now, you may not need that kind of strength to brush your teeth. You might be able to do that one on your own. Okay? But some of these things we need help for, like that. Especially, and the deeper the heart is tied to it, the more we need that help. But the goal, as he drags us out, is to lead us to a place that in Galatians we experience the fruits of the Spirit, and the last fruit of the Spirit is self-control or self-governance, that he restores within us the ability to exercise authority over ourselves to carry out those decisions on our own. That's his plan.